weekly Dama news. Thanks for joining for another round of your weekly Dama roundup. I'm the host, Kendertainment's MJ. Thanks for joining again. This is going to be just hanging out, chatting about the things that have unfolded within this past week. Actually, there's quite a few amount of things, so that's kind of weird. First of all, just want to say thanks for all the people who have jumped over to YouTube on the weekly Dama News channel and subscribed over there. Thanks so much. Gonna hopefully be able to build a nice collection of all the past videos of each episode going up there, so everyone can enjoy it in full instead of trying to scroll through on your phone. Because after I thought about it for a while, I was like, man, actually, I don't know if Instagram is such the best place to put such a long, lengthy piece of content. So hopefully, everyone can enjoy it a little more and scroll through, get to the parts that they want to, maybe a little quicker over on YouTube. As well as, when you're on your phone, like it's your phone, right? So you don't want to hang out for an hour watching my mug talk about kendama. So go over to YouTube, sub over there, or just listen to the audio version, because that always goes up to October 16th. Let's check out some of the things that have happened. And hey, new Damas. Actually, there's a lot of new product that has come out. I see Sweets Kendamas is here, so why not kick it off with their newest lineup of entry-level kendamas for all the little shredders. Just get all the baby shredders, still sucking on their thumbs, possibly getting into kendama, and want a good cheap option, a good place for people to be like, not break the bank or feel like they are on a toy, right? Because I remember when I was a little kid growing up, and you go to a toy store, KB Toys, the Toys R Us, depends on where you are living, and you're like, oh, Mom, I want that one. Dad, I want that one. And sometimes you'd get the answer, not too expensive. Nope. Wait till Christmas, maybe, if you're good. But hey, we have this new, option. Okay, nowadays you can just jump online, search about so many different types of kendama, so many brands and what they have to offer, and especially the price. So for the younger shredders, for the people getting into it, and I'm talking about no. So if you're someone who's getting into kendama and you're trying to have your parents or someone like, hey, I want a kendama, can you get it for me? Looking at like a $40 price tag for a toy, I guess video games, are a shitload, lot more money. But when you look at it, you're thinking about like, wait, it's like a yo-yo? It's just made out of wood? That seems a little expensive, And it's pretty basic. It's not like, a guitar. Yes, it's made of wood. Skateboard, yes, wood. But there's a lot of different components that go into it that could have someone thinking, parents, okay, I understand what this price tag is about. But here, all the companies have been creating these entry-level damas for a while, and Sweets just re-released a new version of theirs, of course, in this new amp shape. Because you got a new shape, why not spread it out throughout their whole lineup, which is actually pretty interesting because I felt like it could be good. I'm sure there are a lot of people who have tried the amp shape and are like, you know what? I kind of like the boost. I want to stay back. I'm one who loves to not update any of my equipment, because if I update one thing, then I try to connect it to a different thing, and the one I'm trying to connect to is updated or newer, then the shit won't work. It's such a pain in the ass. I'm sure everyone has had this, where it's like, oh yeah, you got the new phone. Oh, but wait, your laptop, your computer is actually 3 years old, doesn't have the new OS, so you got to upgrade that shit. But when you upgrade that, then all your hack programs that you had in there stop working, as well as the computer starts running a little slower because you're using more processing. It goes into a not fun territory. So I was thinking, I wonder if they left the option of having the older kendamas up. And of course, I'm sure they have enough. And sales will be happening, get ready for Black Friday. Everyone, it's around the corner. Everyone's figuring out what kind of costume they're going to wear for Halloween. Save those dollars up. Because everybody knows, every company is going to release sales. And this is a common theme I have here on Weekly Dama News. all the kendamas will go on sale at some point. So for many people, I've seen, many comments when companies release new Damas, they're like, oh, you're killing me, Smalls, you're killing me, where you're going to break the bank. Again, just give a little bit. Don't be so greedy. We're going back into last week's episode. We're talking about Damas Anonymous, where we all have too many kendamas to actually play with, to use that. Maybe we don't need to jump on all of the new releases. And here, okay, going back to it, rip. MJ, relax. So, Sweets Kendamas, the new one, M shape, sticky clear, 6 colors to choose from, only $25 US. Now in Japan, the yen is super cheap, so for people here, it's probably going to be like 30, probably like pushing 40. I haven't looked at the prices through like Gloken and Sue, but interesting new, keeping it simple, which I guess, with Tama designs, it could be pretty intricate, but for a beginner level person, this is really pretty much what all the OGs went into and what we felt was, or what we knew as kendama. There was no other option really. It was just a solid color Tama, nothing, there was the Rokus that were out that had some, lines in there, but I'm not sure if anyone really thought about it as tracking, possibly, or just a design. I know I personally just saw it as a design, didn't think anything about tracking. Going deep into the text. Now, I don't have any tattoos. If I was to get a tattoo, I would never get any writing. Just personal preference. I don't want any kinds of writing. I want it to be like art. Now, yes, calligraphy, writing, words could be considered as art as well. Yes, we're not hating on that, but just personally, I wouldn't want any letters. And so same for a kendama, I kind of feel like I don't want any like text on it. That could be a little troublesome to read. Not read actually, but tracking the Tama could be something that could get in the way. And I'm sure Sweets did plenty of testing to make sure that it's not really too wacky, but personal taste, not such a big fan. The past radars were a little better in my creative eye, as just being a simple design, nice target on the bottom. But switching it up, throwing a white in there, that's a big switch up. The coolest thing I think is that it is really like a simple kendama that people can pick up, that you can recommend to others if someone's trying to get into kendama. But everyone in the community has given away kendama once, probably in their kendama career. So people are very sharing, very giving, but I'm interested to just see like how many people not only are going to be recommending this as like an entry level kendama and looking at it as maybe their chance to get a cheap amped shape. Maybe you like beech over maple. I'm kind of in that boat. And this is a chance where you can pick up a beech version. Now the Tama is beech as well, which Sweets has been, doing a lot of. So there's no big change there, but no cushion, but who cares? Because with how honed shapes are being, and just even a sticky clear is sufficient enough to do any kind of balance tricks. Makes sense again. It's kind of like the QR code, where if you see someone playing with it, you could kind of be like, oh, just scan this, blah, blah, blah. It's another piece of advertisement. For me, I look at it and I really like envision, there's I don't know why, there's this like fashion here in Japan that is like similar to South Korean fashion, especially for the tweens. I feel like girls, like having like a broad ribbon, almost like a border stripe going down, like a racing stripe going down like a shirt or something, right on the side on the seams, and it just has like white stripe with black text on it of whatever kind of brand it is, and that kind of just struck me like right away. Everyone's probably like, have no idea what you're talking about, MJ. So I digress. But that's something that's out. Sweets is moving, making new stuff. So going back to it, hey, those startup Damas, the radars with the boost shape, come around Black Friday, who knows? They might just be putting them in to your cart without telling you. You just pick up some Damas for sale because it's Black Friday, and they're gonna be like, oh, surprise, here's like a bunch of extra radars. Keeping it sweets. Moving on, but keeping it sweets, everyone. There's only 3 more days until the Sweets Sponsor Me contest is over for round 1. And it's pretty much over for anyone who wanted to take part in it, because yes, there will be a round 2, but that's just going to be the next after the first initial round, where they first pick the team players, sponsored players of Sweets, as well as the head honcho himself, will decide who will be moving on to a round 2 and making a second video. This is really exciting. I forgot to check out on YouTube Sweets Sponsor Me, but you guys should check it out. I believe the first time I did, which was like probably like 3 weeks ago, possibly, there was only like 3 entries that I saw, but I've seen a few being shared throughout Instagram for different people. So it's pretty cool to see who is jumping on the opportunity to be sponsored by Sweets, and to see what kind of what will come out of it. It's probably going to take a while. Again, you should go check out YouTube, see what's out there, see the different people who are out there. Definitely support the people who who you want to support, giving them love, especially for the people that you know, but why not the people you don't know as well? Because we are an all-encompassing, just friendly, welcoming community. And I'm pretty sure everyone can say the same thing for each area that you're living in. Definitely open-minded community, which is like one of the greatest parts about it. So, but there it is. Only a few more days. So if you're someone who is editing your shit right now, be quick on it. Don't wait for that perfectionism to destroy your opportunity. Just cut it up, send it. That's it. All right. Oh, also, by the way, for everyone who's hanging out, towards the end of this one, I'll be doing another Q&A, because we'll be session Q&As. There's a few people who always have some questions, so use that little question tool mark down below. Ask me a question that I'll be answering later on. Next one up is coming all the way from, hey, let's swing over to my neck of the woods. Winner Kendama. Kendama China has released a RS3, is already on their site, kendamachina.com. Kendama USA, Kendama China. Is there going to be a Kendama, I don't know. I mean, Denmark, there was Kendama DK, was it? Yeah, DK Kendama? Kendama DK. You guys are old OGs, remember that? Before Chrome had their Chrome Kendama website, it was Kendama DK. And I believe I probably have some stickers somewhere in my bag of, oh my god, however many thousands of stickers that I don't need. Kendama China. Easy, okay? So they got a new one coming out, and it is a very interesting mix of maple and sapel, however you want to say it, but a darker wood. At first when I looked at it, I was thinking that it was a walnut, but no, it is not. You may have seen it already, but it has, that very interesting shape, that really like thin, the thin sword coming down from the middle. Looked like some nice beefy cups, and it's very interesting to see that the sapel wood, which I'm not so sure. So sapel was a wood that, who else used? The last Chrome Pro Mods, Rolf used it as a Tama. Now, I'm not sure, again, I haven't played that one, so I'm not sure if it comes in as a heavy kendama or a lighter version. I'm not even sure if I remember any explanation of why both made that option or made that choice. But here you go, it's in the sarado, as well as it's in the base cup. So if it is lighter, then it should add and help for being in the base cup. But, it's also pretty hefty in the sarado. Most of the sarado is that wood. So I would expect, maybe it is a little heavier. And down here, it's adding just for extra weight for gunslingers, possibly. If anyone follows Kendama Outsider, you'll know about like his ridiculousness with kitchen finger slash just slinging it up cowboy over in Russia. Is he in Russia? I believe he is. But still, there is a balance hole, a BB, a BH, not Ben Harold. Balance hole, booty hole is in there as well. Looks really cool. Looks really cool. Definite different aesthetic with the colorways going through. So that is one kind of from over here. And the other one that's kind of shifting, actually a collab coming from Sue Lab, as well as, oh, side note, I just stopped by Sue Labs. Gotta talk quietly. There's new stuff coming out. Sue Lab. Pretty dope. Different paint. That's all I'm gonna say. As well as 10-year, because it's gonna be their 10 years this year. 10-year anniversary Dama. Pretty freaking dope. I think I'm gonna try to snag one. Snag, steal, borrow, pilfer. I think I'm gonna, yeah, they're dope. So you guys gotta be on the lookout, be ready for the drop when it happens if you are a member, so you can get that early access, because they're really dope. Okay, Sue Lab collabing with Quad Kendamas. Now this has been in the works for a while. I remember I remember Sue showing me this one like months ago. I don't even know, like when it was still hot out. It's getting colder out now. Probably like 2-3 months ago, he showed it to me, just like, woo. So pretty cool to see. I'm not sure about the exact, I believe it's going to be, I believe it's going to be just like how 365 did it, 356, what the hell? 365? How many days? Yeah. And Tama from Sue, with the paint, of course, friction clear, and then their Kens. So I'm sure Quad is going to do that because Quad's really known for their Kens. Very nice shape that they have. I haven't seshed one specifically. I believe I've played one that Sue has, but haven't seshed, really haven't put in the time to get the feel for it. It's just like when you like drive a car, you get one. Maybe you're just backing up the car for your friend because he threw you the keys because he's like already drunk or something at the party, so you got to move it for him, or her. And you can ride it, of course. Yeah, you can ride it because you know how to drive a car. But, it feels a little different. Maybe the brakes are a little weak here. You got extra like turning radius. So you really got to sesh and drive to really get what it's looking, how it plays. So for the Quad Kendamas, I'm not sure about that, but hey. Oh, and they secretly dropped those Tamas at the SoCal Royale in April. There you go. So there are a few people who've seen these Tamas already and see what it's going to look like. But it's pretty dope. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's really awesome to see, their real collaboration as into like full on Quad Dama Ken, and then full on like pretty much Sue Tama. Again, just like 365 did it, where they pretty much let Sue in his colorways, his signature kind of like design that he has, to keep it in that, and then they just add their little flair to it. So pretty dope to see. Okay, next one. Hey, I don't think this has actually been out for a while, possibly 1 week ago. New Lace Kendamas, the Woodline V's. Now, did you guys? I don't think I talked about this one. And actually, when I go on to New Lace's Instagram, I think I remember seeing just a story, but the only post is like this one. And the thing that really caught my eye, of course, is the cool poople heart, as well as the, what was that, Zebrano? On the side of the, but not only do we have that, but did you guys like zoom in hard? They got, you can't see. They got lines, ridges, really small lines all throughout the bird stall area. And this is really cool. And this is actually an idea that I had back in the day, like right around the time that Iwata-san from Mugen Muso came out with the groove kendama, where there was actual like lined, curved kind of like engravings on the top for the bird perches, as well as for the handle stall area. He had some extra, I guess, just grippage area around that. And then I was going to do it when I did my collab with Sue. I was just playing with this one today on this guy. And I had that idea. And then I believe, this was like, what, 2017? And Sue was like, maybe we shouldn't do that because, you know, Iwata-san just released that kendama. So we kind of want to just like, you know, just give a little space for breathing. But I was like, okay. And, you know, I wasn't going to be able to tell, we weren't going to do any demo test mods. So I wasn't going to be able to, not sure about how it would come out, how it would look, because I had an idea, you know, I had some drawings and measurements, like possibly this, but I'm like, it might just fall apart. It might not be the greatest thing because if they're too big, wood's going to chip, it's going to fall off, and then it's going to just be a mess that you wouldn't want to deal with. So it could be, you know, a bad idea. But here, New Lace did it. Woodline V.03. Available up on Kendama Depot. It's a third iteration of our Adventures of the Splice Wood, the series, able to continue exploring the ways of different wood types and play into how kendama performs. But yeah, that's one. That's another one. Hey, new type of kendama that is out there that is released, and one of the newest. This one is really dope. Moving on, deal with it. Can you deal with this right here? Jijan mods are out right now. You see the post? It went out 10 hours ago. Chance to snag. Look at that. Very, very cool, awesome, hip, rad, gnarly design. A little bit Sue-ish, but not really, you know, with with the thicker and then the thin line right there. But there we go. We got some dots in there, as well as this engraving that is throughout throughout the Tama, in the cups as well. Now they just released as little like teasers some animation that Jijan did herself. Now Jijan is a illustrator over in Taiwan. I believe she's from Taiwan and has been in the Dama scene for a long ass time. She's just in the scene over in Taiwan playing kendama. And she's an artist as well, so she's been doing some art stuff, showing people in the scene, and people have you know, kind of drawn their eyes towards her work and stuff, really dug it. And Matt Rice is one from Deal With It, Grain Theory, really likes her stuff and has had her design a few shirts a few years ago, and also released a few of her mods. And she always, not always, but I feel like there's a lot of mods that I remember her where she does some sort of engraving, maybe just like the past like 2 or 3, where she's had an engraving as the line, as that kind of, you know, center line within the Tama, and then had some sort of color or design over it. And now this one is like really dope. It just like, it hits different. And this is something that I always really respect and really enjoy with Deal With It, since Matt totally gives every kind of creative idea over to whoever's making a signature or whatever, the pro who's making their kendama. It's like, do whatever you want, pretty much, and we'll see if the factory can do it. But, you know, do whatever you want. But at the same time, you can look at it and you can be like, oh, deal with it. I get it. That's the deal with it. Just like, you know, you look at sweets, or especially a Sue Lab or like Kusa, you know it's from that company. But here, it's just so cool. Come on, guys. I don't know what to think about. I mean, it looks dope, but I'm not sure how this painted cup rims are going to play on all the cups. You don't see it here, but it is on the base cup as well, because from the animation, that's pretty much what it is. Look, on the ring stall, on the base, it's going to have Dama over there, and then some more engravings. Oh, you deal with it. Oh my shit. I'm really stoked for it. I'm not so down with the color, sadly. So I'm probably not going to pick one up, but hits different. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Jijan's super dope too. So, of course, in the V4, go check it out. Gonna be dope. As well as, hey, side note, Queasy mods, last time I saw, they were still up on the website for $10 cheaper than they usually are. And it'll be the last ones that you'll be able to get. If you looked at them and thought they were dope, like I did, it's a very interesting design, really cool. Like, could be like, you know, ready for Halloween, 2 dots, eyes, smiley, jack-o'-lantern style C's, possibly, however you take it. But they're up on the site and it'll be the last one. So go check it out if you want. As well as, hey, other secondary side note, third side note, is that if you scroll down on the site, it's getting colder, right, everyone? Their last year's winter line, sweaters and shit, I believe there's 2 sweaters, are on sale right now. So hey, go get warm and support Dama homies. Okay, let's go over to, hey, focusing on what the season's all about, guys. Spooky Town, that's what it is. Occult Kendamas Halloween drop is back. They are doing this very interesting thing. 6 different spooky kendamas all dropping once a week from today, Friday, October 21st, just in time for Halloween. They got 6 kendamas that they will be releasing, and they have just posted them 2 days ago. If you didn't follow them to see what kind of interesting. They also have a very, very interesting base cup area, working a lot with Spectra plywoods. As you see here, they're all Spectra ply, and focusing on different kind of horror-ish themes, you know, goes hand in hand with their brand name, Occult Kendamas. So of course they got to do something for spooky time. Scream, Halloween, Jason looks like. I see a chainsaw in there. Just classic jack-o'-lantern. I was gonna say, I wonder if they should have done like Nightmare Before Christmas, but it wouldn't go with the orange, not too. Unless they did it with, what's his name, that spooky dude, Nightmare. What was his name? 666. Just get satanic on him. And then what was this one? Oh yeah, Crystal Ball. This one's dope. This one's really dope. I actually like this one the most. And it has this kind of like, it looks like a brain, but like smoke joints. Okay, so I had 2 different kind of opinions on this. How it's cool that they showed you all of them, but at the same time, they could have added a little more hype to it before just showing everyone all of them. But hey, maybe not. Maybe, you know, their drops they are a little pricey, so you wanted to make sure that you picked out the one that you really wanted, instead of just having one come out and be like, oh, that's pretty dope, you got it, and then the next one comes out, you're like, oh, actually that one's like a lot cooler, or that could just be possibly a sleazy tactic that I'm thinking of to kind of, I thought it'd be like, not like in that way to just like make people spend more money, but as like a reveal. Ta-da! Continuing on with the spook factor, feeling vibes. First set of Scullies ships out today from snarkle.rocks. Skull Tamas. I believe 3D printed, hand painted, I'm guessing. I think maybe they used white, whatever kind of material to print, and then painted just with black. I enjoy some weird kendamas. I've had a skull dama that I played with, I believe back for last, whatever, 2 years, 3 years ago, Halloween, with Sue for a Crazy Ken game. And it worked, but I used the eye as the spike. Here, the spike, the hole is on the bottom half of the skull, so it sits proper on the Ken. You know, there's a few other people who have added skulls instead of Tamas in the past. The most popular one being Mame Kendama. He is a sculptor artist from here, Japan, and he creates really, really high detailed, I believe they're resin Tamas that are shaped like skulls. He had 2, 3 iterations of it, and I believe you might have seen, like, you know, Wyatt rocking a Kendamad t-shirt where it has a picture of it where there's the Tama is like half a Tama and then half of like a skull carved out of it. And then he released one that was like full resin with a skull inside of it, like clear resin with a skull inside. And then his last one was, I think, like, it was maybe a few years ago now, where it was just a full-on realistic looking, been dug out, hanging out in the grave for a few dozen years or some shit. Really weathered skull Tama that has an opening jaw, third eye socket possibly, but it was going for like $100. I'm not sure about this one, but interesting to see. Fun things. This dude also, he's the one that released, I didn't know about this, those like pig kendamas, where it's like a weird ass like pig as a Tama, and just the bottom half is like Tama shaped and the top is more like an oval. Really interesting. And people are up to get it. Now I'm one that like enjoys those things, but at the same time it's like I want something weird that actually shouldn't be a Tama, is not made to be a Tama, and see if I can use it as a Tama. That's just me for the crazy Ken games, to add a little more spice to it. But it's still really cool to see how people are artistically taking an idea and crafting something that you can use specifically for it. It's almost like the cold fish, the cold fish kendamas. Where's that? Rotten? Does anyone still have it? Turn it into some sort of like pickled fish from Sweden? What is that shit called again? Definitely fun. But how much would you sesh? I guess yeah. It's just like my shits. Like, oh yeah, it's fun to look at. It's fun to like mess around with for a little bit. You're not gonna sesh it, of course, but it's fun to like take it out when you're hanging out with the boys and just messing around, right? So I guess that's the same feeling with this. I believe that's it for the product. Now heading over to contests, let's look at Kendama USA prizes. JetCam Pro Model Kaizen's costume trick contest is happening. Season's around right now. You only got a few more weeks to get your costume ready. Costume/trick contest. You guys got to have both. They don't have to be the best, but you got to have both. Rules to enter: dress in a costume, land a kendama trick, post as a reel, use hashtag Kendama Halloween 2022, share this post, tag 3 friends in the comment. Now that's something like I just think it's so annoying. Does anyone else get that? Do you guys get annoyed when your friends tag you and stuff? Or do you have like a set of friends who are totally down with it, where you talk to them in advance, like, hey, any kind of like competition or a contest comes out where it says tag 3 friends, like, we're the group, like, I'll always tag you 3 dudes and you guys can always tag us back. Like, if there was a set group and understanding that you could use each other all the time, then I don't think that will be annoying for the person. But I believe, the whole point of tagging 3 friends is like 3 friends who possibly don't know about maybe the contest to take part in it, as well as just having people or comment on a post will activate the algorithm to be like, oh, people like this, there's activity happening, so it'll spread out to more people. So usually with like contests, I guess that's the way to do it. But Kendama USA, is it really necessary to get more reach on it? I don't think so. And again, I just so annoyed. I was so annoyed when I have to, because I'm one of those people who are like, I got to check and make sure that your notification thing is at 0. I hate when it's like 2. Okay, I got to go in, check it out, and look at it to make sure that it goes back to 0, because I have that, whatever it's called, to be like, okay, cool, clean slate, I can keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? Oh, god damn it, I shouldn't have said that. Right away, X-Large, I'm gonna tag MJ. Shit, everyone's gonna fucking tag me now. Costume trick contest is just gonna keep on rolling. There will be 4 winners that will be picked. 2 winners based off of costume choice and 2 winners based on trick difficulty. He got tricks, and then just explains what you'll be getting. Rules to enter, yeah, dress in a costume and lace a trick. Good luck. Contest ends November 1st. So you all have plenty of time, though, actually sticking true to the Halloween date. So you don't have to be a weirdo setting up and getting your costume ready before Halloween, because sometimes it takes a while. If you're someone who's a DIYer and wants to put together their costume just in time for Halloween, hey, this will work out for you, unless you have not much time to lace a trick. But again, it doesn't say what kind of trick, unless you want to go for that trick prize. 2 trick prizes, 2 costume prizes. Now, if you roll back deep, my first and only kendama costume, I was Tribute Man. It was pretty dope. Had a belt filled with kendamas. Mostly, there's a few tributes in there, actually. The tribute mark on the chest. It was good. It was good. It was super dope, super fun, and that was when I was like really, really, really all about just sharing kendama and telling everyone in Japan how kendama is this new, amazing skill toy that is just above and beyond what you thought kendama was in Japan from the past. Any case, so I'm not gonna be entering because I don't have no new costume to go out with. Okay, rolling over ideas. Let's get our brains going, thinking. Hey, Zoomies, Chrome Kendama went to a Zoomies headquarters. Now, I have no idea what the hell Zoomies is until I looked at this. Anyone else in the same boat as me? but it looks like they're a kind of hot topic, but not hot topic. I have no idea, but from when I look at their account and stuff, that's the vibe I'm getting from it. But it's really cool, really interesting to see that Chrome is over there hanging out. You know what that means? Again, thinking corner for this one, everyone. A big chain retail place. You know, we know that Sweets really broke into that market, getting into Target. Target is a place where everyone and anyone is going to be going to pick up different stuff, right? But this place, again, has a specific kind of group that would go and shop at these stores. So you're going to be seeing, I'm guessing everyone got no leaked information, just again, from the mind. You're going to be probably seeing Chrome kendamas releasing kendamas, or just having more kendamas for sale of theirs, possibly collab, who knows, at these Zoomy retail stores. So they're focusing in on a specific market, and possibly it would be easier for them to be like, oh, we have this kind of kendama, let's send those designs over for this time or something, you know? It's interesting to see them make their way into this kind of just retail store area zone to show more people what kendama is all about, right? Pops, you know, they got to get rid of the pops. You've been seeing, you know, Sweets, you know, releasing their new starter, okay? So not like an hors d'oeuvre. Possibly the next company would be like, hey, Kendama USA, hors d'oeuvres. They are up and at 'em, Chrome Kendama, because Sweets releases starters. So Chrome's like, "Foo, oh shit, don't forget guys, we got pops." We got pops. You guys see all the new posts that they have all about the pops? Very not interesting, but yeah, it makes sense because everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, you know, pick up a starter kendama. Don't forget, pops is still a huge thing. And really, really interesting side note that Isaac Kendama put a story up about, and I was like, I thought something was familiar. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I thought something was different. It's this right here. There's the Chrome Pop advertisement, and then here's the Sweets starter advertisement, or, you know, post. Again, Chrome Pops, colorful, changing. Sweets, colorful, changing. There's no, hey, copy my homework type bullshit. I doubt there was. I doubt there was like, hey, let's just copy what they did, because no one wants to do that. You don't want to do it because it's just already been done. Why would you do that? Because it's not like because the Chrome Pops had that type of advertisement is why they've been selling and stuff. Like, no, like people are going to be buying it for the price or for the shape, but mostly for the price, especially if they're starter people. But it's just an interesting, like, just kind of like, oh, sweat, Chrome did that? Damn! Whoever edited this is probably thinking that. They're like, shit, Chrome did that already. Like, how did I not think about that? Fuck! Like, you know, I could just see them like, shit! Flipping papers at the office. Why didn't anyone else notice this? Okay. Pops are a bit jank. Yeah, I mean, they're a different kind of shape, you know. The Chrome's like always gone like a little thinner, so if you didn't like that, it's very interesting. And here, I'm guessing, you know, it's an amped shape. I haven't specifically played one. When I just look at it, it kind of looks reminiscent to a Sue Lab Ken, but, you know, I can't say. But whatever, all kendamas. 3 cups, 1 ball. Sweet Starter, first spike challenge. You guys see this one? Now, I didn't see a post actually go up, but here's the little comp that's happening right now. First spike challenge giveaway. Go teach someone their first spike this weekend and get them on video. Edit them all together and post it to Instagram on Monday. Tag Sweets and hashtag first spike challenge. Whoever teaches the most spikes this weekend wins a 6-pack, not of beer, but of the kendamas. So it's not about how cool it is or what kind of excitement is that the person gets from doing that spike. It's all about how many people can you get to first spike. Now it does say at the bottom, tiny text, always ask permission before filming and please show integrity when entering this contest. That means don't have a bunch of homies who know how to kind of like, who know you and they're like, oh yeah, MJ's shown me that ball thingy and yeah, I could probably, you know, spike it. So don't just have your buddies who don't really play kendama but know all about it because you're very annoying and talking always about kendama and get them to do a bunch of spikes. So there you go. Here's your chance to just get all 6 of them for free. By tomorrow, so today, you got today. If you're watching this in the US, just Sunday morning, you got all of today to quit whatever kind of plans. If you want to get serious about this competition, cancel all your plans. You got that date with Jenny? Fuck that. You got to go out and get a bunch of people to spike, unless Jenny's cool and she could be the camera person, or James, you know, he could be the camera person and film and get those spikes down. So you can get a 6-pack of these. All you got to do is how many spikes? That's like kind of a cool competition. Not just to be like, hey, you get this. I just want to see how many spikes you can get. How many people can you get to spike? You got to go to a populated area. Possibly a place where there is some people who have a little downtime, right? A park, a mall. Just ideas for all you folk. Okay, are we going into, trick of the week already? Clip of the week? I pulled a few. So I'm going to start off with the man, TK, as he's now known recently. Tokyo May, young Greco-Roman wrestling champ when he was a youngin'. He's clipping it up over in LA. He is hanging out here and there with Colin Sander, as well as other chromies, yucking it up with the kendama in hand, going to different events, and just since he's out there, pretty much on business vacay, he's getting out clips. And it's really cool to see because he's one that you don't see too many clips of. So go watch that shit. And then go kendama DK and watch the old entries. Like, what was it? Oh shit, what was it? His grip entry? Was it grip? One of them stands out so much in my mind when he's like in front of that like shipping facility, like the shipping docks or some shit, and that smile, do that. And he's just doing his classic Tokyo May tricks. So good, so it's really dope to see. So that is definitely one I want to highlight. The other one that just wowed me right away from a player that, hey, maybe, do you know? Possibly? Why Chai? Chai Wai? You know? Player for Deal With It over in Hong Kong. I have no idea. 1, 2, 3 tray flip, but it's like the way it's rotating, is it just me or does it look really, really weird? Fast? Watch again. He did the first one already, but whatever. It only really hits, oh, there's the first one. It only really hits when it hits a third, I feel. Like it's corking more like a helicopter than actually flipping, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's like a gymnast move or some shit. So that come on, why Chai? So dope. And then, okay, here we go. I'm going to be closing up soon, closing up shop. 2 questions in the question area. So if you got one, hit it up. Moving on to our final clip, and it has to Isaac Kendama releasing all of these. Now, every time I watch this, dude, the tooth, bro, like, I was in tears. I was in tears watching that dude lose his tooth because I was just so baffled, in awe, being like, no way, mofo took out his fucking baby tooth, came right out of his head. When I think when it happened so fast, I didn't know if it was the Tama or the Ken, but it just popped out and just was gone. And right away, the community just ate it up so hard. Because I'm sure, just like me, everyone's just like, oh my gosh, like, you know what it feels like to just destroy yourself, and just to see it all put up in a compilation instead of just like here and there of people doing it. Like, awesome idea. Awesome job, Isaac. That was so dope. If you guys don't know, Isaac is the, I guess, CEO, owner of Lotus Kendamas, currently living over in the East Coast. Hey, my neck of the woods, or I'm real East Coast now. Far East, I should say, over in New York City. And he's releasing a lot of interesting content. He's got a YouTube channel and shit. I believe on Lotus, his YouTube channel, he releases a lot of interesting stuff here and there, just like his thoughts about kendama. He's got the whole like how Adrian Esteban really changed the game and stuff. Whole like mini like what is it called? A scientific kind of like exploration of it. Really, really dope stuff, and it's so funny to see these clips come through. And he just went out, so popular the first one, so he just on his like story was like, "Hey, gonna make volume 2. Send me your clips," and of course, people delivered. And it was so ridiculously funny, amazing. So yeah, it is so good to see. Horrible, but so good. And at the same time, no one knows about, unless you're an OG Dama nerds, and I believe it was like episode 3 with Matt, where we talked about an injury, and I have a friend here in Japan who needed surgery because of a kendama injury, was in a wheelchair because of a kendama injury, was in the hospital for a kendama injury. It was deep. It was ridiculous. It was the most amazing thing, like most astonishing that it happened the way it did. Buddy of mine, hanging out, playing kendama on his own in his apartment, going for some tricks, trying a one-turn legend. So legend in Japan is airplane, base cup, down spike. I don't know why I just explained it. So airplane, right? You pull out base cup and you go for the down spike. So he was doing one turn of that. So he would go one turn up, airplane, one turn up to base cup, and then one turn down spike, okay? He was practicing at his house. And one of the times he went for the one turn to down spike, he just hit the shit like it was like a billiard ball. And it just shot right into his knee. I believe, I'm not sure exactly where on his knee, but it just shot into his knee. It was like, oh, damn, that hurt. But like, like all these people that we see in this little like Hall of Meat kendama version, people are like, oh, fall to the floor, like, like death face and collapse. And yeah, it hurts, but you'll get a bruise, you get back up. Okay, sweet. Which is what he did, okay? He went and continued. Poor man's name is Adam. He continued on. He's like, oh, I need some dinner for tonight, so I'm going to get on the bike, send it over to a grocery store, get some groceries, go back home. All right. Going to go take a bath. Nice hot bath. Really popular. Common in Japan to bathe every day. So he bathes. And the next day, he's like, oh, I'm going to work out. He's dude who works out. I'm going to go to the gym. Oh shit, what day is it today? Leg day, that's right. And then, me and Adam, we work together. We go on a business trip. There's an event that we have to do down in southern Japan, in Hakata, Fukuoka. So we travel down there, we do this weekend event, two events, or there's three events over the weekend. And he's like, yeah. And this was like a week after he smashed his knee. It was like maybe a week, kind of like, 4 days. And then he's like, we're there for the first day doing an event and shit. He's like, my leg kind of like hurts. We're like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, my knee. Well, what happened? He's like, slammed it with the kendama, with just the tama. It's like, okay, we're like, wow, that's weird. And it started to swell up. And within a few hours, it was massive, the size of a grapefruit, his knee. And he's like, I cannot walk. It pains to walk. We finished our work, these events. He could only sit down. And then we made our way, what do we do? Using taxis in this totally new area, trying to find a hospital that was open, but it was already late, so all hospitals were closed. We went to this one like kind of ER type-ish place. Hospitals are a little weird in Japan, where there's like, we're closed. It's fucking weird. Any case, there's a lot of like specialty places, not so many like general practitioners. And so we find one place that like isn't a specialist in it. They're like, okay, your knee's kind of messed up. What happened? Kendama, you say? Cherry wood, was it? and was like, well, here's like some kind of painkillers, like maybe try to put these like compression pads on it, compress pads on it, and try to go to this hospital like tomorrow. We go back to the hotel, gets worse. Dude's like, I can't. Get the bro in a wheelchair. All from a kendama trick, everyone. Get the bro in a wheelchair. He's for the rest of the trip. We take the plane back. There's a small clip in my Hakata edit. You gotta scroll down deep in the Kendertainment YouTube channel. To Sync to Hakata is the title. And at the very end, there's a slight clip of someone rolling by in a wheelchair. And that's Adam. Rolling by in a fucking wheelchair. And so we get back on the plane. We come back to where we're living here in Saitama. He's like, oh my God, he's like, my knee is like so busted. And, oh, I forgot one part of the story, everyone. Before that happened, I knew about it because he was like, yo, my knee's kind of weird. What's up? Like, I don't know. He's like, it's a weird thing. Like, there's this like, almost like a weird like pimple on it or something. I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. He's like, yeah. It showed it to me. And I was like, that looks like a spider bite. Everything that I knew about him, like, I guess, like, but that looks like a spider bite, dude. So I was like convincing him that it was a fucking spider bite. Proceeds to continue where it like pops and gush. It's gross. Everyone don't be eating, I don't know what in the morning. Hopefully you're not eating oatmeal. You know, fluids come out. And so that was before the trip. Then we make the trip. It gets worse. Okay. We're coming back to it. We do the trip, come back to Saitama. It's where we're living. He goes to a proper hospital with a friend, a Japanese friend who could help translate and shit. Cause this is, you know, pretty serious. And they're like, you're not going home, sir. We're going to do surgery right now because your knee is filled with pus. It is filled, it is infected. I don't know what the hell you did, kendama, whatever it is. We're doing surgery right now. And they went in, cleared all the shit. Poor Adam was in pain. Good friend of mine, poor Adam, was in so much pain. And most excruciating pain, he said. And this was to this date, probably, when was that? Maybe like 5 years ago, anniversary, like right now. And I know that because during that time it was the Kawagoe, my town's festival, and he was supposed to come with all of us to the festival, and of course he couldn't because he was in the hospital. And me and the buds, we went over to visit him before we had fun at the festival. We went over to the hospital, visited poor Adam, sitting in the hospital bed just after surgery. He's got to be there for a few days. All because of a kendama trick. Brace yourselves, everyone. Be careful out there. It's not just a bowl and cup. Hey, new segment, story time, is finished, all kids. All right, let's go over to question time with MJ. If you got a question, we got 4 in there right now. Hit that question tool in the bottom. Let's see it. I wonder which ones came first. Are they from the bottom and they go up, or from the top and go, I don't know. I'm going to start from the bottom. Okay, here we go. Questions. X-Large, have you tried Easy Clear from the Legacy /Su/ Mugen factory? Mugen is not a part of it. Mugen is totally his own deal. Iwata Kobo. It's just his last name, Iwata. And Kobo means wood factory. So he has his own paint. He does everything by himself or with his team, his company over in Hatsukaichi in Hiroshima. So Legacy Su, they are the same company who creates those. They are the same company who, you know, did, of course, you know, Legacy, when all the companies, you know, Soul and GT say, you know, collab with Legacy, it's just the Legacy connection to that factory who's creating kendamas. It's a really, really small setup. And this is why Su Lab Damas aren't out in abundance when the drop happens, you know? So yes, so, you know, some people think that Su still paints his clears. He used to, and this is an old one. This is a Su painted by Su himself with his kind of clear, which works like works more like old mash paint, where you feel it. It doesn't feel like kind of gross when it gets super tacky, but it's also kind of pro clear-ish from old sweets, where it's slippery, but when you break it in, it has this interesting kind of like tack that happens to it. So that I'm sure anyone else out there who has had their hands on a home painted kendama, there's different variations, different formulas that you could do to make something, and some of them are extra tacky, some of them you can like feel it on, like there's different ones, and Sue definitely had many iterations of his paint, but he doesn't paint anymore. He has his factory, and that's where they paint everything, and it's the same factory that does Legacy, so they are pretty much hand in hand. Very similar. I've heard that it is just the amount of coatings of the paint that they put on that will change the types of paint. But actually, the recent Soul Shibuya mods are a new style of kind of, what would you say, like a polished look? It's between a polished kind of like a sticky clear versus their like Legacy friction clear rubber matte kind of clear, and those are kind of like melted together, a balance to have the Shibuyas come out. Yes, so Easy Clear X-Large, I'm not sure what Easy Clear is. Who released it? Someone else? As Easy Clear, calling it Easy Clear? Did Soul call it Easy Clear and I missed that? Let me know. Continue on. Can I just slide over on these questions or slide up? No, I can't. I just have to hit the Soul. Yeah, it's the Soul's new clear. They call it Easy Clear. I think that's all it is. It's a mix of matte kind of, which is Legacy / steam coat / friction clear, to a kind of sticky clear that they do that they don't really. No one really asks them. This company makes their own kendamas too. I don't believe you can find. I totally forgot what the place's name is called too. It's kind of hard. Like, yeah, fuck. Keep it rolling. From Dylan Johnson, 3711. What's the story behind the yellow Dama that you showed? This guy? Easy from Legacy? Okay, yeah. I believe that's what it is. I'm not sure exactly what the easy part would be. The easy, if it's Legacy Tama from the Legacy collection, then it's similar to a friction clear. Pretty much. Okay, so this guy, this is a Pomu Pomu pudding from Sanrio, the same company that makes Kitty-chan, fucking Hello Kitty, and they released this bad boy. You know, you can do that. You can open it up, and actually, this was just filled with candy. This is like a little kid's toy. It was filled with candy, and you got it for pretty much for the candy. But it is also kendama. So yeah, I picked that up because of course I'm going to play this as like a Will It JKA. And did I don't think we did this one yet. So this is one we could be doing. We'll be recording new ones in the near future. But look at that spike. Look at that spike. Holy shit. But yeah, that's it. It's just a thing to hold candy. That's it. And it's just shaped like a kendama, because in Japan, why not make stuff that's kendama? Because everybody knows kendama. All right. Next good question. Twisty Dama. Who is your favorite player to watch play? Man, there's so many, but I think the one that had like the biggest impact on me was Chris Bosch. Back in the day, like seeing Bosch clips, or edits, I should say, because no one was on Instagram. They weren't clips. Seeing edits from his days were just so gnarly. Like, I forgot what number it was, like 7? Possibly not. Where it's like in the snow and like snow's falling on him. Immaculate. And just his way of playing was so different from others at the time. So he definitely stands out for me as like someone who just like shreds him, like, it's just damn. And everything was just super smooth, very precise, you know, very dialed in, honed in. So he is definitely one of my favorite players. to watch that I remember like back in the day. Of course, people with really interesting stees like Ken Garden, Jake Weens was definitely one that I pull a lot of inspiration from. I'm sure a lot of people as other people as well. Put me on the spot. I think that's yeah. For about now. There's everyone's dope though. Ooh, here's a big one. Dogma Woodburns. How do you feel about the new kendama companies entering the Dama world? Are they welcomed or are there enough companies for where kendama is right now? Love Kendertainment and Dama Nerds. Thank you so much, dude. Ooh, can't wait for the next one. Yep, next one's coming soon. Hopefully next week. I got a lot on my plate this week. So if I can get it out this week, that's what I'm going to be aiming for. But soon. There is, dudes and dudettes, like all the new kendama companies that are coming out. It's super dope to see. There are plenty of kendama companies who are in everyone's feeds, everyone's faces. Everyone knows who is in the community, knows about the big dogs, the big three. But there are still so many smaller companies that are also big, but have something to say. And I think when you're creating a company, this is the one thing that is going to help you stand out from everyone else, because there is such a solidified group of like who's the top dogs and what they're doing. And then if you're going to be doing something that is just creating another kendama, it's got to have something. If it's going to be the type of paint, if it's going to be your shape, if it's going to be like just the aesthetic, what your brand stands for, I think is going to help you differentiate yourself from all the other companies. And this is like something that's going to be really important for all the smaller kendama companies coming in. I think about skateboarding. When I was growing up, there were so many different companies. There was a little umbrella action happening, but we had like Tom Yeto, who was controlling like Foundation, Zero when it came out, Toy Machine, right? So that kind of group was more on like the punk rock, hardcore, like metal kind of kids, and that's what I kind of resonated with. And then you got the Shorties team, which was a lot more hip hop influence. Like I definitely had Fulfill the Dream and was watching it all the time before skating, but there's just a different vibe for each of the companies, and we definitely see this with all of the companies right now, right? And that really just is a tribute to the players that they have sponsored on the team, right? The ones that there's a handful where they have a few players, but it's like they don't seem like a core, like kind of like, okay, these group, it's like a team, and it's really dope when the kendama companies sponsor these players where it feels like it's a team, because that's when it like stands off as being like a super strong entity and a force, rather than just, hey, look at our kendama. It's like, but look at our team, right? And there's got to be a balance. So it's like when there's like just a bunch of picked people here and there, or if there's like a lot, then it could be like a little too much. So I feel like kendama companies entering the market now, entering the Dama world, the Dama sphere, shall we say, do it. Good luck. Hopefully everyone's doing their homework. Be active, more like, unlike me, be more active. Post, you got to post a lot. There's so much fucking work that if you're going to be serious about it, that you should be putting into it to make yourself stand out, and so people are aware of what you're doing. And you got to have a face. You got to have a face to it. In this age nowadays, like with social media and everything, one of the biggest things that I feel like where Kendama USA is lacking is who is Jero? Not many people know. But Sweets Kendamas, we know Matt. There's there's Gabe, but you don't see him so often. But there's Matt, and so we can become pals. People can resonate with him and have a feeling, be like, yeah, I like him. I want to support him. I want to be a part and kind of connected to him. So that is another thing, get out there, be yourself. If you're a company who's starting up, do it. You're welcome. You are all welcome. A piece of the pie. Doing. Yo, Dominers/Lotus? Question mark. That'd be an interesting one, definitely. But me and Rod, we have a shitload of a long list to be going through. And there's a big amount of a route that we've kind of decided right now. So definitely in the future, soon future, probably not, but it would definitely be dope. Isaac is releasing a lot of cool stuff. Boston, favorite spooky season movie for the spooky season? Not all around? Because when you think about like this season, like everyone thinks of like the kind of cheesy 80s, thrasher movies that came out as like, oh, that's scary, that's Halloween. I never really got into those much. Man, I don't know, like something that hits me from my childhood is Pet Sematary, that scared the shit out of me. And another one which would be like any kind of time mess you up would be Event Horizon. That's a good one. That one's messed up. Real wacky, real weird and dark. Event Horizon. All right, everyone. I believe that's all the questions. Thank you so much for hanging out, for asking questions. Weekly Dama News here every week, Sundays, talking about Dama and just bringing all of us together and deeper into the Dama sphere. Coin that right now. Patent pending, trademark. Check us out on podcasts. Be able to download this. Hopefully I can scoop all this shit up together, put it up on the podcast as well as over on YouTube so you can enjoy it. Again, Weekly Dama News, YouTube, check it out. Follow the channel, help out a lot. Comment and all that jazz. Yeah. We'll see you next week. Keep it clean.